You're not building a business, you're building an asset. And the sooner you can start thinking like an investor rather than an operator, the faster you can grow. Most business owners only focus on growth. More sales, more clients, more staff, more stuff. And they might have this idea that one day I'm gonna sell this business, but they never really ask the question of, is what I'm building of value to somebody else? Because unless your business can run, scale, grow, innovate, solve problems without you, it's not an asset. It's just income that disappears when you do. In this video, I'm gonna show you the steps that I took that turned my business into an asset from day one. And in doing so, I was able to attract partners, buyers, and opportunities that most businesses don't ever get to realize. If you want to build real wealth, not just stay busy, this is how you do it. So you have to start by figuring out what is the life that you want. What does an incredible week look like? What does an amazing month look like? What future do you want for yourself, for your family, for your children? What do you want to be able to do? If you've not done that, it's then very hard to build this business in such a way that it's going to be an asset that gives you the things that you want. So it actually starts with you sitting down with your partner, with your family, answering those immediate questions and the future questions, and then sitting down with a financial planner and thinking, how much money do we need to live the life that we want? Step two is to decide that you're building a business to sell. And I meet a lot of people and they're like, I don't want to sell my business. I love running my business. I want to stay in it forever. I want to hand it down to my kids. Well, that's all lovely, but you can't necessarily run it forever because you're not going to live forever. And maybe your kids don't want it. And also, you've no idea what the future holds. If you build a business to sell, the moment it is exit ready, it is also scale ready. It means that you can back out of it and go do something else. It means that you could focus on the parts of it that you absolutely love. It means that you could scale it as rapidly as you want. You could take it into different industries, take it into different countries. You could bring in investors. You could turn it into an AI product. Like, you could do anything you want the moment it is exit ready, because what that means is that you've got all the playbooks in place. It's fully systemized. It's running without you. You've got the team. You've got the right culture. You've got the finances right. It's profitable. It's the proof that everything else is correct in that business. And so the goal should be to become exit ready, because at that point, you are option ready as well. You have the most number of options available to you. Nobody can predict the future. So the best thing you can do is to prepare for the future by having as many options in front of you as possible. The next point is, you're not selling one day, you're selling on day one. A lot of people have this vision that they're going to sell their business in the future. Well, when? And what if the perfect opportunity comes to you next week or next month and says, yeah, we want to buy your business? Or what if your personal circumstances change such that you need to sell your business? So the best thing that you can do to protect yourself and to be able to capitalize on any opportunity that should come your way is to prepare your business for exit right now, from day one, if possible. So before we even got our first customer in our business, I designed our logo, which was Go Proposal, and I thought about all the businesses that could possibly acquire us, which was Xero, Receipt Bank, Sage, QuickBooks. And underneath the logo, I put Go Proposal, a QuickBooks company, Go Proposal, a Sage company. And I printed them up and put them on the wall and started to visualize one of these businesses buying ours. That was before we even got our first customer. And the importance of that step was that it started to tune my mind into thinking, this is the outcome. And this is what manifesting is all about. Manifesting isn't just wishing for a future and sitting there and humming and hoping that it happens. Manifest, the actual meaning of the word manifest, means to hold firmly in your hands and to do everything you possibly can to drive towards that. So step one is visualizing, who am I going to sell this to and for how much? And then doing everything you possibly can to drive towards that at pace. Once you get a sense of who you could possibly sell this business to, it's to figure out, how much could I sell it for? Like, you want to be super specific. What do businesses in your industry go for? What is the multiple? Is it a multiple of revenue? Is it a multiple of profit? Have you got examples of businesses in this space that have sold? If so, for what amount? What research could you do? Sometimes you can go to the company that bought them and you can look at their financial statements and you can figure out what they paid for these businesses. Sometimes that information is declared. Sometimes you can make your best guesses about that, but you really want to have a sense of, who could I possibly sell this to? Is there evidence of those companies buying other businesses? Which businesses have they bought? What was the makeup of those businesses in terms of what was their revenue, number of staff, etc.? Can you find out any information about that? Because if you can find a company that's aligned with what you're doing, then by buying you, you could advance them on their path faster. And in doing that, you become more valuable than by selling to a private equity company who just want to kind of unlock the value of that business. Because if you can find someone that's aligned with your business, they're not just unlocking the value in your business, but in doing so, it can unlock greater value in their business as well. And that's when that multiple can really start to step up. And the final thing I recommend is that you start having conversations with an M&A company sooner rather than later. Sometimes you can wait to the point where people have started showing interest in your business, where you would like to sell or perhaps you need to sell. And at that point, you start to look around for an M&A company. First of all, you've got to find the right mergers and acquisitions company that can work with you, that has got expertise in your industry, that is used to working with people like you. You might be a first-time seller of a business. You might be an accomplished seller of a business. And there may be things that you need to do now to prepare you for a better exit further down the road. There might be structural changes that you need to make to your business, to the way that you're doing things, how you're positioned in the market, so that you could become more valuable further down the road. But some of those things could take time to implement. So the sooner you can start to gather that information, the better. They're also gonna, when you start working with them, prepare you to be able to sell to, let's say, a PLC. And if you're selling to a large corporate entity, the scrutiny that they're going to put you under is going to be far greater than if you sold to a smaller company. So if you want the greatest number of options ahead of you to sell to the person who's going to pay the most, for example, you need to make sure that your business holds the highest level of scrutiny from a large corporate blue chip corporation. That type of work might need to start much earlier on. For example, do you have monthly management accounts now? Because they're going to want to see the last 3 years of monthly management accounts and minuted meetings for the last 3 years instantly. And they're going to want to see it now. If they request that information from you, you can't spend a month gathering that together. You've got to send it over in the next hour, because that demonstrates that you've got all your things organized. If they ask for a playbook for how your business runs, if they ask for your org chart, all of these things need to be in place. And some of those things, like I say, might need structuring much earlier on. I've got a brilliant company that I work with for my SaaS business that is great, especially for first-time entrepreneurs who have never sold a business before. The support they showed me was just exceptional. So if you'd like an introduction to them, there is a link in the description. You can just give me some of your details about your business and what it is that you're looking to do, and I'll make that introduction for you.